they're actually tearing out a little bit at the end because they're so small. Because it's not a great piece of wood, to be honest. But I'm just going to tidy them up each time with a... Right, what I'm going to do now is I've glued one side, I'm just going to glue the other side. Now this doesn't have to be a neat job, because this is going to be covered up on beads and stuff like that, so I think it all goes for the small one, I'm not too sure. Just get a bit of stiff on that. Glue off my hammer, don't want it on there. Now with those glued in, we have to go ahead and put this in, but obviously we have to plane it first. Mustn't forget to do that before we glue it in. Just place that in there like so. Ooh, just about fits on there. Make sure that's pushed right to the front. So what I've done here is I've drilled some holes, not actually drilled them, I just used a self-tapping screw and just put it into the wood so far, and then I'm actually going to just countersink it slightly with this little bit, only by hand. I'm going to put it in the actual brace, and then I'm going to use some of the original screws that came in this just to bring this the centre of the insert panel inside closer for the glue to set properly. I didn't notice at first, but I've noticed now that the bottom of this TV cabinet the case is actually slightly bowed inwards, so I've got to try and bring it all together, and plus the board isn't sitting flat, and that's probably why the board isn't sitting flat, to be honest. So like I said, I'm just going to put some of the old screws in just to bring it tight together. I might leave them in there, I might bring them out afterwards when it's dry. I'm not sure yet. It's not going to impact on any of the cutting I'm going to be doing later, so I might just leave them in for a bit of extra support. Okay, so this is the last cut to take the front off. It's not been as clean as I'd like it, purely because it's, like I said, it's veneer, and but I don't know, I can probably sort it out with something. The veneer's just cracked around where it's cut, and this is a fine cut piece as well, which is a bit annoying, but I'm a little bit scared now because this is the final cut, and if this goes wrong, it's kind of, I suppose it's game over really, isn't it? I mean, you think about it, but I don't know. I always manage to fix bod jobs, so I might be able to do this one. So that's if it goes wrong. So here we go. Fingers crossed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the cut worked. It's a little bit messy, it's a little bit out, or should I say here, and just up the top here, and it was a little bit funny down here as well. Oh, and a little bit there, I think, in that corner. But considering I've never done a cut like this before, I think I've done pretty well. It's done quite well. It's worked quite well, rather. This saw is really, this table saw is more of a contractor's type saw, like a site type saw. So it's not really as precise as some of the dedicated table saws, if you like, or maybe even some of the newer flip saws are a lot better, because this is a very, it's very old. I mean, it's an old one. It's from like the early to mid 90s, I think. So it's quite a crude design, really, when you think about it. It's one of the earlier ones. I mean, it's an Elu, which obviously became DeWalt later on. But yeah, it's done pretty well. It's done a good job of it, really, considering. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I'm really chuffed. I'm actually a little bit speechless. But yeah, so I don't know where to go from here now. I suppose we've got to fit out this front section here. We've got to sort out the sides inside and the top. I'm still not totally sure what I'm going to do with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up here, clean up inside, and yeah, actually speechless. Brilliant.